I'll hand you this. And so Guillaume, Binet, he's actually, he works here at Google. This is your office, correct?
Yeah.
You've been here since 2013. He's currently working on the Signals team for Google Cloud. And he's previously had responsibilities in a number of different startups, both in the US and Europe. One of the more previous ones is working on the API for Twilio. And one of the things that how actually Guillaume and I came to know each other is based on, similar to the talk that he's going to be talking about, on the topic of Chatops. So I've written a couple books now on Chatops. I'm fascinated by the topic. And I've, of course, been in touch with Guillaume a lot to sort of hash things out and talk about the bot that he had written, and also just different core principles and topics within the topic of Chatops. So it's been a pleasure to work with Guillaume and getting this event planned, and we're honored to have him. So please put your hands together for Guillaume Binet.
So hi, everybody. So first, can you hear me? Okay. So first, I'm going to check if Jason did his homework, right? Who knows Chatops? Yeah. Who doesn't have a clue about Chatops? Okay, nice. That's going to be easy. So after your awesome presentation, and that basically almost everybody knows about Chatops, so that's going to be pretty easy for me. So Chatops comes from the DevOps movement, right? And basically, so DevOps, Jason told you, right? It's more like a cultural thing about collaboration between those silos, and also integrating tools and automation to your process, right? And Chatops is the merge of the two, right? Using chat to actually integrate with your chat rooms, like Slack or HitChat and so on, your professional chat rooms, and have your tools available publicly in those chat rooms. So it looks like that. So imagine like something like this is Gitter, but you can imagine Slack. You have your team, and within your team, you see that you have actually a robot. You have actually a program that just listens to your messages and react to them, and it reacts. Actually, it's public, so people are talking about what they are doing, and you see in the middle somebody is actually issuing a command to the bot that is actually doing something, and that is not only part of your automation, but also it gives like a total awareness to your team. Like your team sees that, oh, you started the build at that point. So you can synchronize events and so on. And so I'm gonna talk to you about my journey. Right, I started 5 years ago. So it was in a small company up in Brussels, in Belgium, and actually a developer called Steven said, there are like this company GitHub, they are doing something, they are actually putting their tools in their chat room, maybe we can do the same thing. And so we started to look at it a little bit, and he actually made a little script called R2D2, and it was running in the corner of the office on a machine. And so we didn't really had a chat room, so we used XMPP as the protocol for the chat for the chat, and we wanted to use Google Talk, but Google Talk did not have really those like persistent professional chat rooms, right? So we used like a hack called Party Chat that was emulating this feature. It was like an early Slack, if you prefer. And so yeah, this thing was humming. Everybody knew that there was this little script, and the company really started in software development, so we had nothing, right? We didn't have any deployment or any code to actually work with. So we started to implement all the tools about sprinting, about Scrum, right? And so first we implemented simple things like an integration with Jira, where we actually made our workflow, and people were asking us all the time, like, oh, what's the next version, right? What's going to be the name of the next release? And so we made a little command, right, where they could ask for the next release. And also, as a team lead, I started to be bored with those stand-ups every day. So I implemented also a tool to manage the sprint itself. So seeing the state of the other developers, and see if somebody is actually blocked on something, and have also those virtual stand-ups. Another example of what we did, is this little feature. So all the time, I had like PMs or marketing coming back to me either by chat, by email, or straight at my desk asking me when this feature is going to be ready, when this user story is going to happen, right? So I implemented a little graphing command, just giving like what have been already done, right, and what we are working on with the red dot, and so they can actually know what is the state of the feature implementations, right? And it's very important, as Jason said, to actually it includes actually other people within the chat, right? Because suddenly you have this, I don't know, PM coming into the chat. You see that the person is actually asking for a specific feature, and then you can react, say, oh yeah, indeed, we are working on it, and it's almost there. If you want, you can come at my desk, and I'm gonna show you a demo of it, right? So once we add this, all those Scrum related features implemented, we started to build the product. Right? We started to have artifacts and actually having it deployed. So we had, like, of course, continuous integration, like Jenkins running on, and same thing. The Jenkins was actually posting to the bot that was actually reporting which version is actually passed the test recently, and so on. And also we had then we started to have like write feature, right? For now you only add like read only features. Now we started to be able to actually deploy things, like at least on QA, where you at the end of the sprint it tags the Git repo, and then you can actually deploy that on QA and try it right away. Same thing, like if somebody wants to know if something is deployed on QA, they just have to look at the chat, and they will know that which version is actually being deployed. And then we added to run the products. So it was a telephony product. So we had alerts, like something pretty simple, right? And we had also like end-to-end test. So the bot was actually it was a telephony product, so the bot was actually calling itself, so going out, going through other providers, and coming back to itself. And so the bot was calling itself continuously, and if it was failing like 2 or 3 times in a row, it started to alert you. And along the way, so what happened is actually people started to own this little bot. So they went onto this SSH to this machine, started to start Vim, hack on the r2d2.py file, kill the process, restart the process, and so on, right? And we added like a lot of like things that were very close to our culture. So it goes back again to what Jason was saying before, right? We actually mapped what we were doing as a team, right, into this chat. So we had like for example a tournament feature. We had like a hierarchy table, and we were absolutely competitive about this one. And the bot was able to actually record challenges from one team member to the other, and actually keep track of your Elo rating during the year. We had like a lot of private jokes about like if somebody was not there, you could ask the bot what this person would say. So you often like have a collection of funny quotes of somebody else, and so on, right? So people started to actually really make this bot like really like a part of the team, right? And so it became a disaster, to be honest. So this r2d2.py basically almost looked like my t-shirt, okay? So everybody was hacking on it, and actually it was even like part of even hacking on this bot was part of the company culture. So somebody new from, I don't know, like customer support, like, oh, this is so fun, I can add a quote too. My manager said something funny. Went to the things, it's Python, it's easy, just hack on it, and then forgets like a quote or something, and then the ops manager comes back to me and saying like, you must be kidding me, right? We wanted to deploy something on QA or on prod, and somebody just SSH team and change the code, and now the thing is down, we have to fix it, I have no clue where it is, and so on. So this hit me like a brick, right at that point. I was like, oh my God, what did we do, right? And that's actually I realized that at that point that we needed a tool, basically. We needed to improve this script. That's how actually RBot has been born. So RBot is open source. So it has been open source a few months after what I did at this company, Mondial Telecom. And basically we started to scratch our own itches, right? So first, I implemented the hot changes resilience. Because so people could make a plugin, change something. If their plugin was not actually running, it was fine for the other plugins, right? It needs to be simple, right? Like I said, it was part of our company culture, so people should be able to actually, with like a pretty simple method, with the name, return something, and that actually it's pretty basic to actually have a command where the bot can respond. And also, the last itch we fixed right away is started to make people stop SSHing into a machine. So we implemented Chatops onto Chatops. So the bot has actually a series of admin commands where people can actually redeploy a plugin, update a plugin, restart the bot if the thing goes really crazy, and so on. But remember, that was 5 years ago, right? Since then, actually, the project has been like growing like crazy. And we started to implement like way more high-level features on the bot. So for example, now we support conversations. So now if you start, for example, a command with the bot and start a process, right? And the bot has like a multi-step like questions and answers to go through. It will be able to keep those various conversations and make them happen. Pretty related to it is automation. So basically those steps, if the bot by any means, like either the context of the conversation or like an external configuration and so on, can have the context of your conversation, can start to skip steps. So your project name, I don't have to ask it. I already know your project name, so you can continue your conversation. So you can actually improve the automation. We added security, so with a filter feature. And so ACLs, be sure that some people, like the guy from the marketing team, cannot deploy something in prod. That's pretty basic. We implemented also persistence, so to be sure that like when you have a plugin, you keep something, you keep the state. So if it restarts or something happens, you can actually come back to it. Also, so one of the last one we did is provisioning. So provisioning is but like now you need to automate actually the deployment of this bot to be sure that it is up and maintained. And so last but not least, so the bot actually supports like a lot of different chat backends, what we call like chat systems, if you prefer. So Slack, HipChat, we have Gitter, we have Campfire, XMPP, Telegram, and so on, right? We have others even. And one thing that is really specific about this bot is that when you develop a plugin, you actually talk to the bot API, not to the chat system, right? So if you implement, for example, a card which is like a feature of HipChat, it will translate into an attachment for Slack, and for Gitter, it's going to be like rendered in their native Markdown-like language, right? So this space is very fragmented. You probably noticed like everybody is making their own chat system. So this is something that you can actually count on, and actually it happened during my journey on Chatops. We switched from Google Talk to HipChat in the middle of the year. So that's something that's pretty different from UBot, for example, another bot you probably know. And so what I would like you to take out from this talk, right, is that, like Jason said, there is not one way, right? There is not one magical tool that's gonna actually implement this like highly cooperative team that loves to work together and have their tools within your chat room, right? Customize it, like make it your own, right? Actually implement your culture inside your chat room. Instead of just hooking up like I don't know, like various integrations you click on Slack, right? Make it your own. That's one of the key success of what I witnessed at this company, and that's the same thing for your tools and processes, right? Don't change your tools or processes for Chatops. Just take whatever you have, make something custom. It's pretty easy. It's Python. You have like whatever bindings you want on every tools on the planet. Just adapt it so it gets accepted pretty quickly and pretty easily from your team. So thank you very much, and I'll be a little bit later on the micro kitchen. And if you have any questions, just come to see me there.
All right, thank you, Guillaume. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to hold all the questions for after our next two speakers. Real quick, I know that it's a